Recently, I received a care package from 2K Games and Gearbox, so massive shout out to them. Thank you so much. Thought I'd do a little unboxing here in Chyros. So they told me this was the Echobot. I didn't know it was a collector's edition, but I did find out it is the collector's edition, and this thing runs $149.99. I think it's a GameStop exclusive, and they were selling it on the Borderlands official loot site, but it is sold out there. And it seems to be available still on the GameStop's website. We're gonna dig in here and I'll let you know if this was worth it or not. Also, I decoded a cipher that was in this box. It took a little bit of work, but I did get it solved. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it was really fun to figure out. Here's the actual box here. Nice bright red color. You've got the Echo 4 Echobot on the front with the Borderlands symbols on the side. I really appreciate the size of this box. I can actually keep this one. Some collector's edition boxes are huge and I am like running out of space. This box is 14 inches wide by 11 inches tall, and for reference, there's 2 Coke cans. It's just a little bit taller than 2 of them stacked. All right, let's open this box up, and on the top you're going to see instructions for the Echobot and how to deal with charging and the charging cable. I'll go over that in just a moment. Now, this collector's edition doesn't have a ton of stuff. For Borderlands 3, we got a massive box with a lot of items. It was awesome, but it was a lot of stuff, and sometimes we don't have space, so this is nice and simple. Also, I think the price point is perfect for this. If you go look at other gaming figurines, the pricing can be astronomical, but I think this one's perfect. We'll pull everything out here. So inside the box, not counting the Echobot, you've got a nice big red folder. You've got a voucher card for shift codes, a necklace, and it looks like a map of Chyros. That voucher card with that shift code, I'm gonna pin it down in the comments. Whoever wants to snag it, it's for 5 golden keys, I believe. So we'll open up the red envelope here. We've got 4 lithographs of the 4 Vault Hunters. Each of these are 8x10 cardstock, glossy, very colorful. You've got Rafa the Exo Soldier, Harlow the Gravatar, Eamon the Forge Knight, and Vex the Witch. The backside has art as well, duplicating the characters in black and white. Super cute. Also, disclosure, they did not ask me to make this video. I'm doing it because I really like the collector's edition. If I didn't like it, I would not bother with it at all. Also, being a gamer and doing it as my job, I collect a lot of gaming memorabilia, so I have to be very selective so I don't overclutter my office, and this is one thing I will be keeping. This next item is something really different. This is a vault symbol necklace. It's got a 20-inch stainless steel chain, and the vault symbol pendant is chrome plated. You can feel it's got some good weight to it, good quality. The front side is rounded and then the back side is flat, so if you're wearing it, it's gonna lay flat on you. The next item before we get into the Echobot is the map of Chyros. This is a 17-inch by 17-inch polyester material map. This shows the map fully revealed and uncovered, and I don't even have it fully uncovered in game. Here's a close-up to show it's got some good high detail. The bottom there, the grasslands, that's the fade fields. Up at the top right, frigid peaks, the mountains. Over to the left, you got the shattered lands. Then in the center, you've got the Timekeeper's impenetrable fortress city. I'll zoom way in here. Very, very nice detail on that. Looks awesome. I wouldn't use this to get around in game. Maybe you can, I don't know, but it's a nice collector's piece. All right, let's get into the styrofoam box that takes up most of the collector's edition. When I first opened this up, I was like, oh, this is embossed. The styrofoam on top. I can see the vault symbol and then some alien language. Being a zombie player, hunter, Easter egg, cipher, super Easter egg, impossible Easter egg hunter, I had to know what this said. It was really hard to read with the emboss, so I put some flour on it and then like dusted it and let the flour settle into the embossed letters, and then I could see them very well. Here's a close-up of the top line. At this point, I did not know what I was looking at. Like, how are you supposed to read this thing front to back, back to front, clockwise, counterclockwise? I didn't know yet. Here's the bottom portion. It appears as though the top had 1 word and the bottom might have 2 words. And based on previous Iridian language decoding, each symbol probably represents 1 letter from the English alphabet. I did solve it, and I'll show you how I did it. So I drug it into Photoshop, cleaned it up, inverted it. You can see it much better here. Here's the top line and the bottom line. Then you start looking for duplicates. So I've got 3 of these symbols, and then I've got 2 of those. With those 2 symbols on the bottom left, they have to be the same letter and most likely vowels. And if you use common sense, it's probably the letter E, which told me that's probably the end of the word. And I'm looking at this upside down, and this whole phrase is probably read clockwise around the Borderlands symbol. I looked into the Borderlands language to see if these symbols matched any alphabet, and they do not. But what we do know is that in in Borderlands 4, there was some Iridian language that got solved, and it was a phrase, "He is watching, break free." So that started to make sense that those were E's, and this is probably the word free. Now we know what the F and R is, and we have those symbols on the left, and that obviously spells out break. So we've got break free, and that lines up. And with us knowing the E, that top left letter looks like that is probably an E, and that this is indeed read clockwise. So now you start thinking of 7-letter words that match with Borderlands. You've got Iridian, Iridium, and Echobot. And Echobot works perfectly because in that word there are 2 symbols that are clearly vowels, and they cannot be an A or an E because we've already identified those below. So it has to be an I, an O, or a U. And the O's work perfect. You have Echobot break free for the final solve, which makes sense because Echobot is what is inside the box. So he's out of the box here and with all of his other stuff, and my first reaction was he is so cute, super cute, adorable. I absolutely love him, and he's gonna look so good on my shelf. I'm not super connected to this Echobot in game, but the statue is so precious and such high detail. Here's the backside of him. We'll zoom in. This is a very nice touch. They put one of the vault key fragments hidden behind him. This is a big part of the game. You got to go around in each region collecting 3 vault key fragments and then putting them together so you can get inside of the vaults with the primordial guardians. Here's the backside of him and the base. This is where you're gonna plug him in. This comes with like a 6-foot USB-C cord you have to use for him. The instructions let you know you do not want to use any kind of fast charging with him. You have to use the cable that comes with him. So no fast charging cables and no fast charging plug adapters. Also, it seems like if you want him to light up and stay lit up, you have to keep him plugged in. This is not a situation where he has a battery inside of him that you plug in and charge. The USB-C is a power cord, not a charging cord. Move up to the top of his head here. He's got a heart decal. Again, the paint on this and the detail is so immaculate. One of my favorite parts about the statue is the detail of the iridium crystals. This is so cute. That's one of my favorite things about Borderlands is farming iridium, so it's nice to see it on this statue. He's also holding iridium in his right hand, and the idea around the statue and the way he's positioned is that he is serving the iridium crystal. Here's a nice close-up look at the front of him. You can see all that detail, and it looks like he's hovering like he does in game, but he's attached to the back with some of the rock formation. Also, he's not too heavy, but when you're picking him up, you do want to be kind of careful. I felt like if I accidentally grabbed one of those iridium crystals instead of the base, I might pop it off. Now let's have a look at him lit up. This is my bedroom, and I've got the lights off, and I was not expecting these lights to be that bright. His eyes are like headlights. They're that bright, and I was thinking maybe I could use this as a nightlight, but it's more like using it as a floodlight or flashlight. The backside of him is super bright as well. It lights up the base, and underneath him, it looks awesome. But yeah, I was planning on getting this for myself, and then 2K stepped in and said, we'll send you one. So that worked out. I love this thing. This collector's edition does not come with the game. I think it would push the pricing over $200 because this statue and the items in it are definitely worth the $150. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next video.